Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm part 43 I think. Syllogism. Alright, what is syllogism? All dogs are animals. All cats are animals. Therefore all animals are dogs. No. Alright, it's A equals B, B equals C, therefore A equals C. But just a quick review from the last episode. We talked about a lot of numeric arguments, and we've talked about the function of iteration with numerics. So we're going to expand that to linguistics, and then talk about some physics, and then go back to some math and see what kind of logical nuance we can pull out of it. But syllability presents a numeric context for syllogism. Syllability is the number of syllables per word. And then that provides us a context of basis and range for linguistics, right? Fundamental theorem of words, right? We posed a very big question in a lot of the beginning episodes of the From Rhythm to Algorithm, and then also the Language and Litigation series. How do words work and why does it matter? How do words work? Syllables. And why does it matter to transfer information? Is it matter? Are words matter? No. Words are the result of matter moving. Just again, cleaning up some thoughts there. But again, we've talked about basis and range in the correct context of syllability. How many syllables per word? How do words expand directly, logically, with iteration? And not a law I can write on the board right now. But it should be, again, some more syllables, more range. A basis is constant. The basis of 3, we'll keep numbers out of it, but a basis, the basis is constant. Range is variable, proof by singing. Function is variable. The relationships you draw between two variables can change. So those are just some linguistics, mathematical ideas. But how does this relate to substitution versus integration? Up here I have iteration. Again, do this pretty quick. I don't even know where that came from. But substitution, mathematics, right? A plus B, B equals C, A equals C. Systems of equations versus iteration, the changing of letters to reflect the function of words, right? We talked about how words pair to functions, and function is independent of size. Right? If I had a marker, what it does determines what I call it. But if I had a much bigger marker, I don't have any examples, but you get a jumbo pen or a jumbo marker, still a marker, has more mass. So, iteration and fractals scale proportionally something. But no words have, right? That's how words work and why it matters. Fundamental theorem of words, no words have 0 syllables. Absolute fact. Right? Do words exist at all? We pose that question. Yes, as proven by all of the words that you understand, and all of the words in the definitions in the dictionaries. Right? Infinity is not definite. Dictionary definition. Definition is the linguistic result of iteration, returning to a base, consolidation. But what's the formal mathematical nuance different between substitution, iteration, and integration? Integration is to addition. You add up your infinitesimal sections. Substitution is replacement. Iteration is improvement, is to do again. Iteration is to multiplicity. Substitution is to neither. Thinking out loud. Where to start? So again, we're clear on the basis, again, either numerics being 2 and physics being 3, or there are only open systems. Again, what's the direct physical mathematical argument for what is the basis number? I don't know, still thinking through. But how do letters iterate as a result of only open systems and our prime number results? Right, we've talked about 3 prime numbers, only difference between any sequential prime number is 2. Every number past 9 is an iteration. So again, clear on the base, but what's the limit of the range? You know, why is there a limit to range? Physically, there clearly should be some explanation result. But now that's our linguistic mathematic analysis, or conjectures, or theorems, or combination. But now let's just resort back, let's renormalize, right? Renormalize the gravitational field. Let's renormalize and just say, what's a definitive physical fact that I can say for sure? An object is a base of a shadow. Proof by the sky. Go look up into the sky. Do you see any shadows? No. So we've talked about physically, you know, I think the right word is momentum replaces light, or frequency replaces light, or light is not the correct description of sunlight, of whatever you're feeling when you go outside. But regardless of what the word is, there are no shadows without that interaction, or without some object getting in the way of momentum or of light. Period, end of story. Similarly, we asked how many colors are there? Again, some sort of limit of range, but there are no colors when it's dark. Color is not dark. There are 0 colors in the dark. Turn out the lights, carry me home, you can't see any fucking colors. But that's a physical empirical fact, and again, there's clearly, you have a base, physically, base of the shadow is an object, and then there's 2 iterations of that shadow. So again, what reflection of structure is that? Something of this stuff. And now just getting a couple relationships of physics and linguistics. Words are not entropic. Entropy. And there were some clear published results, like the Poincaré conjecture. I think he called it, whatever, the Perelman called it something entropic. That's directly where that word comes from. But words are not disorderly. Entropy is disorderly. Proof by linguistic evidence. Entendre en français et écouter. Noise versus voice. You hear noise. You listen to voice. So that is a linguistic differentiation of like logic and physics today, right? You can hear something but not listen to it, right? A TV show in the background, you're auditorily processing the information, but you're not listening to the words. Are they speaking words? Yes. If you can speak the language, could you understand them? Yes. Also a result of no multitasking, but a direct linguistic result in the French language. Now, just reviewing, again, all of these things, again, trying to find some sort of linguistic resolution to a physical inconsistency in known ontology, but just the form of an exponent, right? Clearly we're formalizing iteration as a mathematical function. X to the n. X to the n power, right? 2, that's a preposition. X iterated n times. Right, we've talked about analogies versus direct metaphors. When we have a preposition in the verbiage of describing this symbolism, syllogism, symbolism, it's wrong. And so x iterated n times. X multiplied, right, iteration, like if you wrote that out, x to the third, x times y times y times y. So times, what is time, like times as a mathematical operator versus time, the physical measurement of inefficiency, iteration, stability. Black holes aren't real. I don't know. But what reciprocates iteration mathematically? What's the right? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, iteration. I don't know. And then also just consider direction, right? We've talked about this. You only can move forward. You can only walk, towards, forward. So I'm just going to end with just some logical theorems I just drove, again, like right before making this video, and finish here. But I have function is variable, base is constant, range is variable. I already said that one. But for the direction stuff, right, we're talking about range. Well, with syllability, base 3, maybe again, you can only completely answer, a given amount of syllables to a given relation to amount of syllables. but, right, range, a range. Ordinality, ranges. An arrangement depends on order. Ordinality determines arrangement. Ordinality versus originality. Where does a source originate? Perpendicular is orthogonal, right? Something normal to the plane is perpendicular. Orthogonal is not parallel. Parallel is not normal. Normal, normality. And normality is not orthogonal. So how do those logical statements resolve with the to, towards, forwards is the only, again, evidently with our sentiment of the species, how does that resolve? That's what I wanted to talk about for this part 43, syllogism, is this gives syllability is the correct numeric context for syllogism as a function, a physical function of basis and range. Thank you for watching part 43.